Not MTash here, TTVE underscore thing. We're live almost every single day, 3:30 p.m. EST. So we have a million videos to go through today, but the first one I wanted to touch on was stop comparing Wuthering Waves players to Genshin players. Dumbest Wuwa take ever. I absolutely want to go over this because there is a lot of people who really say you shouldn't compare, right? Also, Ruja, good morning, brother. Good morning, brother. And Selkie, good morning. And everyone go follow my boy Selkie, by the way, on YouTube. He makes great guides. That's in the video. So a lot of people have this thing where like you're not allowed to compare, or they say they hate drama, right? They hate the comparisons, they hate drama. But here's a perfect example of absolutely that's just not true. This video got 6.7K views of me reacting to my boy Kazahana Edits video. And in the video, we literally have people talking about, you know, you just got to stop comparing them. I hate this drama. I just want to enjoy my games. Yet this video is doing substantially better than all the other videos I uploaded in the past 3 days, right? It's just not the truth. And I also really hate when we villainize content creators who want to talk about these things. So I want to hear what Glaive has to say, because I think the community is really brainwash into, listen, you can enjoy Genshin. It's never a problem of enjoying Genshin or Star Rail or ZZZ. The problem becomes when you villainize creators who call things out, when you villainize people who are not enjoying it. That's the issue. So yeah, let's get right into it.
All right, so here we go again. Another day, another drama in the gacha community, and this time
war.
But let's be clear, this isn't some scandal sparked by a particular content creator anymore. No, this is a work of a very loud, very opinionated, and hopefully very small minority. Wuthering Waves 2.1 update dropped about a week ago, and as expected, gacha content creators wasted no time sharing their thoughts.
I love them though.
Stop! Some called it the best glow up since launch, praising the improvements and quality of life changes. Others, they claimed it to be the worst patch ever, like the game had suddenly crumbled overnight.
All right, Aitoma.
But let's be clear, nobody, not a single person said that it was perfect, because it wasn't. And that's actually a good thing, because, you know, it's Wuthering Waves, it's Kuro Games. Unlike certain other developers, they actually listen. Kuro Games has been making steady improvements every patch, fixing what needs fixing and refining what's already great. They take community feedback seriously, whether it's from surveys or content creators calling things out in videos. So it's honestly shocking to see this weird narrative pop up that the Wuthering Waves community is somehow becoming the thing they hated most. You know exactly what that's referring to. That is just completely out of touch with reality. The truth is, this community thrives on criticism, and that is exactly why the game keeps getting better. This isn't even the first time someone pushed this idea. Months ago, Lol Shinya made a similar comment about Wuthering Waves community. No hate to him, guy's great, but he's not exactly the glue that is holding the system together. But let's focus on what actually...
Okay, I will say, no. I will say we have to be fair here. The Wuthering Waves community can be genuinely insufferable. All of these gacha communities can absolutely be insufferable, and also, good morning, Wuma. Putting my brand take to the side, whatever. I don't care. Again, overreaction, whatever. If you just say you don't like something, they really do go crazy. And even when you provide a line of logic and reasoning, they do go crazy. Case in point, if you look at this video, this got disliked bombed because I said I did not enjoy this game mode. And why I didn't enjoy this game mode, I just feel like it's a waste of time. But the Echo situation, I've been very vocal about Echoes. I've made tons of criticisms about the game, and people just complain and they shit on you regardless. So to be fair, I do not think it is as bad as Genshin, but I do think there are those insufferable people in the community as well. I don't think we can make a blanket statement saying it doesn't exist. I'm not necessarily saying that's what Glaive is saying. But, you know, got downvoted to what's it called, -20 in Reddit for saying skipping Phoebe. So yeah, I hate Wuwa. Exactly. You know, they take the slightest criticism and the slightest thought that's not the status quo, and then they can turn it and twist it into something completely different. And absolutely, you are insufferable, Bree, without a doubt. Send me $500 now. Any one of the communities have that potential. Indeed, we all have to suck up whatever they're fed. Yeah. So I want to make that clear. I don't 1000% agree with this take. Genuinely, I am proof of it. Okay, I'm absolutely proof of that. Gotcha Smack is proof of that. Like, it just that
kicked off this round of discourse. A tweet claiming that the Wuwa community is slowly becoming what they hated most. Truly embarrassing. First of all, nice typo.
Good morning.
If I didn't know any better, I thought this was an official Kuro Games announcement.
Yo, bro, Glaive be roasting people for their typos. This motherfucker roasting my ass for misspelling something in a tweet, man.
Let's be honest, Kuro's and
like, come on,
like
bro.
peanut butter and jelly at this point. If that ain't no typo, it ain't no Kuro. And the confidence in this take is just impressive. Someone responded with actual logic, pointing out that this community shift was really just one dumb person making a dumb post. And instead of re-evaluating, our guy doubles down with, did I say the whole Wuwa community? No, but slowly.
No.
Yes, Mr. Pokey type tweet. I've seen this way too many times. I can't be wrong if I make my claim vague enough strategy. If you push back, they'll just move the goalpost. But plot twist, Tectone replies, and suddenly all of that confidence evaporates. The guy folds instantly, going from bold social commentary to,
hello, Techie.
I honestly have no idea if what I posted is incorrect or not. To be fair, I would also fold in the presence of the big T. But that's just a funny side note. It's not the actual problem here. The issue here is that there's this growing belief that Kuro bots, aka Wuthering Waves' more dedicated fan base, just can't take criticism. And I don't know what alternate reality these people live in, but that's just flat out wrong. The logic behind this whole argument is completely backwards. Kuro Games actively engages with player feedback. It's just their game based on criticism and even acknowledges community memes in official live streams.
That was a word. Yeah, I don't think the Mint Reaper is absolutely insane. I don't think it's a majority at all. But there is people in the community who are insufferable. But again, like Glaive said, or like Tech said, it is just one person, right? Or it is a fragment, but it does happen. It absolutely happens. And there are situations where it's just really cringe, and there's other situations where it makes sense. I think a situation where it makes sense when the community was going batshit crazy is like, you look at the Zaja video. That video was absolutely just a bunch of bullshit being spewed. The guy read 3 Twitter posts from the same dude who's been complaining about outro buffs for the past fucking 6 months. And then after that, also the Vars video, right? That Vars video was pretty bad. Also, Nando, you were the most insufferable person in the community. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome and good morning, brother. So yeah, and then if you say something bad about this new game mode, then I think that's just silly. I think people are overreacting to things like that. Or like, you know, in this patch, we've had a lot of people saying, hey, it's not a filler patch. But then after that, when people criticize it, like then they move the goalposts, well, it's just a filler patch. And so there's obviously those people. Again, I don't think it's a majority. I absolutely don't think that at all. However, it does exist. And it's not as bad as Genshin's, but I don't want it to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? I just enjoy every game I play. Yeah, that's fine. Also, what's good, Rudra? Good morning. If you're going to tell me that there's not a both sides, people don't love to draw pile, you're just actively not paying attention on purpose. Yeah, I think Glaive, also good morning, Lost. I don't think Glaive is necessarily wrong in this sentiment, but again, I do want to point out that this absolutely does exist. It's just not to that severity. I think vast majority of people don't engage with the community anyway. That too. That too.
总是提及的维里奈，我们的维神的加班压力，在手按人上线后，终于可以解放了。
Yeah, it's not as bad as Genshin, but it's bad. I think it can get bad for sure.
If the devs themselves are open to criticism, why wouldn't the players be? If people are trying to say Wuwa fans are thin skins and allergic to criticism, then what exactly do you call the game's constant improvements?
Yeah,
because last I checked, constructive criticism is what got us the major quality of life changes in 2.1. Now, if this were Genshin, I would understand the frustration. Oyoverse doesn't listen unless there's a lawsuit involved, or a rivaling game is threatened.
Yo, Dave got that. Yo, you guys saw that?
Genshin, I would understand the frustration. Oyoverse doesn't listen unless
I'm not trying not to freak out, man. I'm a really big fan of Glaive, you know? Glaive, PM me, I'll show you my tits.
There's a lawsuit involved, or a rivaling game is threatening their monopoly on the gacha space. You know they're panicking if they ever hand out a free 5-star selector, because at that point, the downfall of the game is officially here. Oh wait, they did give out a 5-star selection. And look, Genshin players have been stuck in that ecosystem for way too long. They're invested financially and emotionally. When things don't go their way, they don't just take the L, they cope hard. It's a classic sunk cost fallacy of no return. They've already spent too much time, energy, and money to walk away. So instead, they doubled down. And I think that's where a lot of this misplaced criticism is actually coming from. So let's be clear. Wuthering Waves does not need some defending. The game is doing fine, and most players are totally okay with valid constructive criticism. They're completely okay when you don't pull out arguments out of your ass, which is something that can't be said for the bad faith criticism running wild recently. And here's how it goes down every single time. Someone throws out a completely bad faith take, something exaggerated, disingenuous, or just straight up wrong. People call them out, and suddenly the narrative flips into, why are you refusing criticism? Are you just saying Wuwa is perfect? It's a bait and switch, and it is exhausting. The moment someone gets pushed back,
I wonder who did that. I wonder. Gonna be me.
For a bad take, they pivot into playing the victim. And that is why this whole discourse is so messy, because half the time it's not about actual criticism at all. It is just about stirring the pot. And that's where the real damage happens. Because when bad faith criticism runs unchecked, it doesn't just create noise. The damage isn't just some petty internet drama. In the worst case scenario, it actively warps public perception, divides communities, and even throws game development off track. With that being said, let's talk about the consequences of letting bad faith criticism spread. First up is the distorted perception. Bad faith criticism doesn't just sit in the corner of Twitter where it belongs. No, it spreads fast, and suddenly a game that people might have genuinely enjoyed gets completely written off before it even has a chance. You get review bombs, toxic comment sections, and casual players second guessing whether
so these people are just bums, right? If you are a person who doesn't like a video game or doesn't enjoy said activity, and you just review bomb or spread misinformation, you are a piece of shit. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. I think, to me, it really just screams mental illness. And this isn't just exclusive to Genshin players. I want to make this very clear. This is exclusive to any form of media or any video game where if you dislike this thing for personal reasons, or you just dislike, whatever the case is, it's just not your preference, and you go around and you're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, this is dog shit. Let's all review bomb it, and then let's make threats to EOS someone IRL and game, of course, and do crazy things. Like, you are just mentally ill. And that mainly happens with the Genshin community. Also, I hope you're having a better morning, brother. But yeah, it's really stupid. This shit is honestly pretty cringe.
They should even bother trying it. And we've seen this play out before. Look at League of Legends. As much as you want to give it hate, it is one of the most well-designed, strategically deep games out there. But do people talk about that? No. They talk about how toxic the player base is, how weird the content creators are. It's a joke at this point. If you play League, apparently, you don't shower.
I criticized the weekly mode and just called me a tourist, and telling Kuro said nothing like that. Yeah, May. So that's the thing. That's the thing, right? I feel like a lot of the times there's people who can't distinguish. Also, you, good morning, brother. I hope you're having a great day today. My bitch, give me 3 seconds. I'm in the middle of recording, but I appreciate you. Good morning. People can't distinguish, and these are the people that shouldn't be listened. You shouldn't listen to them. And the good thing is that I don't think it's the majority of the Wuwa community, right? I think in Genshin's case, since the fan base is so big and such a sunk cost fallacy bullshit, and a lot of them seem to be really miserable, they pretty much just attack everyone, right? There are times where you can make takes talking about the game negatively, and then it won't go as south and it won't go as bad. But yes, there are always going to be those bad apples. But the good thing on the counter side with Wuwa is it's not always like that, right? There's people in chat who could have critical thinking. There's people in chat who disagreed with my takes on the Wuwa, on the other things. Like, it's not a big deal, right? Also, Wuma said, my 2 cents, Wuwa sucked in 1.0. People complained it got way better. Fans came in with, oh, wow, they listened. Kuro are the gacha gods. Wuwa is the promised gacha. They don't realize that Wuwa only got better because they listened to the criticism. Yeah, no, for sure. And a lot of the bots may forget where they came from. Yeah, I could definitely see that. And I don't think you're necessarily wrong. I think the people who are overly positive about the game are cringe. I think, yeah, just when you're really over positive and praise every single little thing, it's pretty stupid. But again, we also have to keep in mind, like Wilma said, they did really change the game and fix the game in such a timely manner. Like 10 to 12 patches in a matter of 2 to 3 months is something AAA games don't even do in a year, right? They really put in the effort. So a lot of people give them good faith because of that. But I just wish that community would take a step back and be like, hey, like, let's calm down. But yeah, sometimes people are just insufferable. But it is what it is, man. You could say Chang Li is decent and she's really not great for casuals, and they'll cancel you and tell you that you're a piece of shit. You know,
don't touch grass, and you're the
shut up. Wuthering Hams is the best game. They literally never played dislike this year.
Weirdest personal line. That's how powerful negativity can be. It doesn't matter if a game is great. If the loudest voices say it's trash, that's what sticks. And then you got the community division, or as I like to call it, how to start a civil war in your own fandom. Mr. Pokey is really good at this. Bad faith criticism doesn't encourage real discussion. It just forces people into corners. Instead of working together to make a game better, you get this ridiculous us versus them dynamic. One side is defending a game no matter what, the other side is tearing it down just for the sake of it, and guess what gets lost in the middle? Actual useful feedback. And suddenly people aren't talking about real issues anymore, like Echo EXP, tuner problems, or why we still don't have flight in 1.x. No, instead they're busy arguing over whether or not criticism is even allowed. And
I do think that Glaive once again hit it right on the head here. There are certain things that can be talked about, but the community, what we'll do is, like, in the Echo XP situations, like, I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of hearing about this. It's like, Bro, so what do you want? Do you want real, genuine criticism, or do you just want to go to war with other people? It's just silly, right? And so yeah, I think Glaive absolutely hit this on the head. I want to hit Glaive on the head. It's okay, personal.
And
Oh,
at
for
that
sure.
point, nothing
Glaive's
productive is
an asshole.
happening. And then
Hate
there's
that guy.
developer misalignment.
Flip it, ship it, I
Developers
hate
listen
him.
to feedback, and that's just a fact. At least the ones
love him.
outside of the Genshin Impact dev team, right? But when the loudest
you?
voices
Yeah,
are
my bad.
coming out from bad faith critics, that feedback loop gets completely wrecked. Devs end
Yeah.
up feeling pressure to respond to outrage instead of focusing on real issues. They make changes they don't need to make, just to quiet the noise. And the game starts drifting away from what actually matters. One well-cited example is the Star Wars Battlefront 2. During its development, the team was bombarded by vocal minority of critics who focused almost exclusively on the game's loot box and progression mechanics. Under that pressure, the developers made a rapid performative changes aimed at quieting the outrage rather than addressing deeper design concerns.
Okay, here's my one thing though. Maybe this is really not a popular opinion, but I do think that we have to give the devs good faith to weave out the bad feedback. I think the devs, especially Wuwa's devs, are on. I don't know much about Battlefront 2. So I can't speak about Battlefront 2. I don't know about this game itself, but I will say I do think that we have to give the devs faith and to not be able to say they're going to get tricked into making a bad change because they saw one YouTube video. I think they're smarter than that. I would have to assume they're in contact with people. They're not in contact with me, but they could absolutely hit me up and I would give them my feedback. But I think that one of the good things is these surveys, right? A lot of people fill out these surveys and they do it in good faith. And so those couple extra people that are being stupid and loud and greedy on Twitter, I think it is what it is. I would imagine that this is why they do surveys to get the big picture. Exactly, Judge. Exactly. That my point exactly. So I do think we have to give them some faith and to know in which like they're smart enough to make this game well and fix it. I think they're smart enough to take that feedback and weave out the good and bad feedback, right? Meta 2 started the acceleration of predatory loot boxes in games. Yeah, see, I don't know a lot about Battlefront 2. I can't lie. I don't know about that. But yeah, I do think we have to give them some faith on that.
The result was a game that, while trying to appease its loudest voices, drifted away from its original vision and ultimately hurt its reputation. So this whole thing isn't just about annoying internet discourse. This is about how bad takes can literally derail a game's development. Instead of fixing actual problems, devs get caught up in performative fixes that make no real impact. So what's the solution? We'll get into that. But first, there is even a bigger issue. How good faith criticism is getting caught in the crossfire. And that is where things get really messy. Now, this whole problem isn't just some random Twitter user trying to stir the pot. It is bleeding into content creators who are actually trying to provide fair, constructive criticism. And for some reason, people are struggling to tell the difference between actual critique and just bad faith nonsense. Take Ryuku Sensei, for example. The guy is known Kurobot, probably one of the most diehard Wuthering Waves supporters out there, but when he called out real issues like the Echo EXP grinds and tuners, people immediately started dismissing him. Skill issue, luck issue, it's not a game issue. Are you serious? That's not an argument. That's just plugging your ears and pretending there isn't a problem.
Sorry. Yeah, unfortunately, as long as they pump out surveys and often primarily, exactly.
And then there's Tectone. Love him or hate him. I mean, for the most part, love him, right? This man has played every gacha game under the sun. Maybe. I mean, the guy played Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Come on, man. If there's anyone who knows how to break a game's strengths and weaknesses, it's him. He's literally the gacha Jesus at this point. And here's the kicker. He actually likes Wuthering Waves. So if he's pointing out flaws, it's not because he wants the game to fail. It is because he wants it to get better. So why wouldn't you listen to someone like that? Even if you don't completely agree with Ryuku's suggested solutions, or maybe you don't like how Tectone brings up his points, the fact that they're bringing up a real issue should be enough to warrant a discussion. This isn't about blindly defending Wuthering Waves. The devs listen, they adjust, and they fix things. We've seen it happen time and time again. So with that track record, why wouldn't we trust them to do it again? Here's the
wait, I want to see what Rose said. I think they will also implement the conversion of execution on someone in the future. The concern that he's trying to increase the flow of XP. Oh yeah, I agree. I think that will happen as well. We're gonna get Ryuku made a video responding to Tectone. We're gonna go into that whole Echo stuff and specifically in a moment.
When you start shutting down good faith criticism, you're not just silencing complaints. You are hurting the game in the long run. First, you miss opportunities for real improvement.
OS, we'll touch on it. We'll touch on it, brother. And if you feel that way, I think there's nothing wrong with having that opinion. So here's the great thing about this. You came into chat and respectfully said, but there is no problem with echoes and tuners unless you want to build day one. It's a really good system, right? And I think you're absolutely entitled to have that opinion. But then there's the counter people who feel that way and say, well, you're just fucking stupid, you're dumb, you're rolling wrong, and you're a piece of shit. And those people are the problem. And so again, there is nothing wrong with feeling otherwise. However, the conveying of it is bad. And it also isn't really the great. It's very good. It is very, very, very good compared to Genshin and compared to HSR. But just because it's better out of the genre doesn't mean that it does not have room to improve or get better. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with you feeling that way, for sure.
Games don't get better through blind praise. They get better through constructive feedback. And when that feedback gets ignored, these problems just linger longer than they should. Second, it discourages future criticism. If every single valid critique gets drowned in the backlash, fewer people are going to step up and voice their concerns. Bro? I mean, look at what happened to the Genshin creators, right? Look at what you did to them. And that doesn't just affect content creators, it affects everyone. At some point, players will just stop bothering. Because what's the point of filling out surveys or making feedback posts if the community itself refuses to engage with it? And worst of all, you risk making developers defensive. Imagine being a dev team that actually listens to its community, only to see players dogpile on anyone who dares to provide feedback. If that keeps happening, at some point, even the most receptive devs will start tuning it all out. And that is the worst case scenario ever. Because then guess what? Nobody wins. The game stops improving, real concerns get lost in the noise, and then we end up in the same kind of mess that other gacha communities have struggled on for years. So what can we do about it? What can you guys as a community do about it? And what can I as a content creator do to help? For now, I'm just going to sit back and watch. I want to see how this plays out, but when the time comes, I'm going to say what I think about it. But in the meantime, what do you think? Are the people confusing good faith criticism with bad takes? Is the backlash against fair critiques actually helping or hurting Wuthering Waves? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe and actually have a real discussion.
Oh my god, Glaive rated while we were reacting to his video. I only watched this video because I saw my face in it. I guess it was cool since you included me in there. Yo, boys, welcome in Glaive's community. Welcome in. Thank you for the follows, boys. Great video, Glaive. I think you cooked. I think the community there's those small people that are annoying, but again, we need to not attack anyone who says something negative. With that being said, YouTube, I'll see you in the next one.